describe how you're feeling now?
Not good, but we'll get a MRI and all that kind of stuff tomorrow and figure it out. But for me not to be out there with my guys, no matter the situation, it takes something. So
what was the determination? Like, what was it that they saw that made it?
I couldn't do what I needed to do in the simplest form, and so I asked if there was anything we could do about it, and there was not enough time to be able to do that, and so I would have done anything to stay out there and keep fighting, but I couldn't. So it sucks.
Was it that last hit, or was that something I was building?
Yeah, it wasn't even the hit, honestly. It was just when I dropped back and torqued to throw that ball to tip. That's when I felt it.
Hey, Derek, what happened on the first interception?
We had someone come free, so I tried to throw it away over his head and clearly didn't throw it out of bounds. So boneheaded, stupid, trying to throw that ball, trying to be legal because I still thought I was in the pocket, but I could throw it away in front of me, but my reaction was just to throw it away over his head, and it obviously didn't get out of bounds. And so I was trying to throw it away, but they ended up getting a free one.
Coach Allen mentioned that this was the first game that this team really was outplayed completely in this season. Do you agree with that? And what they may be doing that was able to frustrate you?
Yeah, they came out to play, and we didn't execute early, and we fought back. We started playing better and all those kind of things. But against a team like this, you got to be on it from the get-go, and so we were not on it from the get-go, and that's what happens. You get down to a team like that, it's hard. With the pressures and the different coverages and all that kind of stuff to the games they do, and timing and all that kind of stuff. It makes it really hard. So felt confident and comfortable in what we were doing, schematically, but they just they beat us.
Derek, there's a lot of things that were obvious in this matchup that you were going to have to work around: the offensive line injuries, presence of Chris Jones, and things like that. What was something you thought would be effective that wasn't tonight for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. Chris, I've played him, I don't know how many times now. He and Spags. He does a great job of, trying to get after your protections, and Chris does a great job of winning. And he's one of the best players in our league, and so I got the utmost respect for him. He knows that. And when you play a guy like that, that stuff's going to happen. He's going to win. Good players are going to win. But he was able to get back there and cause some chaos a couple of times, and they were with the front. But that's going to happen. That's football. I was proud of us that we kept fighting and even had to move some guys after that. We kept playing and went down, scored a couple of times. I thought I was fully confident, and all the way until I got hurt, that we could win that game. But again, going down early to a team like that makes it really hard.
Seems like you've been able to work through injuries, not miss games. Is this similar to anything you've had before, and do you feel like it's going to be enough time?
I just don't know yet. It wasn't like a pain thing. It wasn't like dealing with pain. Like, can you deal with the pain? Then you can go. It's like literally I just can't do what I want to do. And so obviously it's fresh and just happened. But me, like I'm going to do anything I can to make sure I'm there on Sunday.
It seemed like you were telling I told you to someone after the touchdown.
It was just me and my quarterback coach. It was a good thing.
What was the throw to Tipton on the play that you got hurt? Was he sort of a hot read, or was he the number one on that? Or
he's the number one, and they brought all-out pressure. I saw the all-out coming, so I knew I just had to buy time and give him a chance to get his hands on it. And so he's number one.
Okay, I'm wondering, is it possible that during the early part of the season when you guys were winning, could that mask mistakes or flaws that maybe you guys didn't notice at the time that you have to maybe correct going forward?
Yeah. I mean, it obviously can, but I thought, I think Clint does a great job. I've told you guys this. I think he does an outstanding job, even in the successes, that we just worried about the process. So we turn after every practice, good practice, bad practice, we turn the film on, we correct it. Good game, 40 points, or not 40 points, we correct it. And so, I don't think that. I honestly don't think that's a problem with our guys and the character of the guys in our room. And so, can it happen? Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I've been on teams where you win and you overlook some things sometimes, but I think Clint does a great job of hammering some of that stuff out.
What were they doing to take Chris away? I know he had that one catch that didn't count, but there was 2 catches, 10 yards.
Yeah, that's frustrating, and it's not from a lack of me wanting to throw it to him. I tell you guys all the time. Everyone knows I want to throw it to Chris. Chris knows I want to throw it to Chris. He was coming. There was one time they came free. He was coming wide open on a third down. I was about to hit him for a big play, but we ended up couldn't get it to him. We ended up having a sack there. We hit the go route. We hit those two plays, and it feels different. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating. When you grab the sheet afterwards and you see that because he's an unbelievable player and an unbelievable person, a good friend. So I love him to death, and I never want that day to happen for him. But those two plays right there would have felt a lot different. But we were able to hit other guys on some things. When they did try and take him away, but still you never want to see that at the end. That's not a good feeling.
There were a lot of deep shots in this game. Was that something that was a big part of the game plan, or that was all that was presented to you in some of those situations?
It was a big emphasis for us, trying to hit those shots, and we were able to hit, a few. And when you're throwing them that far, down the field, you're not going to hit them all, and so, maybe that, makes third down, tougher sometimes, but that's the game you play. We hit a touchdown. Clint said, we're going to call these shots this week, and if we don't hit the first one or the second one, we're not going to stop calling them. We're going to keep taking our shots, and so that was definitely like an emphasis, for us, and I love that aggressive mindset. You have to be against a team like this.
And just to clarify, for your injury, it's oblique. It's an oblique.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We'll find out more tomorrow.
How was the process with Connor, obviously taking over mid-game there?
Oh, he's unbelievable. I said that in practice, his first, whatever day it was, his first day, I looked back at Clint and I said, this dude's pretty freaking good. His communication, his mentality, just in a big Monday Night Football in Arrowhead, doesn't even blink. He's out there, great snaps, great communication. Very, very impressed with him.
How much of the run game not being effective maybe is because you guys have done some juggling on the offensive line? Is that does that cohesion not show? Just what's your take on the run game?
Yeah. Anytime that you got new guys playing next to each other, there is a learning curve. That's just a fact. I don't know if that's the right thing to say or not, but that's just a fact. And so we definitely have work to do. We all know that. And I just want to be there to be able to be a part of it.
Not trying to pinpoint blame or anything, but just from your perspective, I'm thinking of the early deep ball to tipped in. There was one later to Sheik going the other way. Did those balls go to the spots you were hoping they would go to? Or?
Yeah. Again, when we throw those deep balls, it's hard to hit on a lot of those. And so the one early to tip, I was trying to throw him away from the safety. He took a higher angle. But that's something for him and I to learn from. I threw him another one down the sideline on 22. It's hard for me to see the sideline. I'm trying to just place the ball over the corner to him on that one, and then the one to Sheed, on the right. Trying to give him a chance on the other side of him, and again those are those 50-50 those plays. It's hard to hit them all, but our standard is high, and so we're going to keep the standard, and try and hit them all. And so, we felt confident about them all, and that's why Clint kept calling them, because he knows that, we've hit a lot of those early. We just didn't hit them all tonight.
And was there any improv involved this time with Foster, or that was just how it was drawn up?
That was all our staff. That was all our staff. That's how they drew it up. He wasn't first in the read. I had two reads before that. And then someone was coming free, so I knew that my outlet would be there, and so really, really good design.
Derek, after the last three, not going the way you guys want, where do you feel like the team's at moving forward?
Well, you standing there and listen to our leaders speak, and you hear DeMario saying stuff. You hear myself and other guys saying stuff like, "We're not going to let this thing, become a snowball." You can't, and so. Sometimes the end result is never. No one wants to lose. The end result is not what we want, but our process and the way we work can't change. But you do have to look at it and say, what is it? Each man has to look and say, well, what is it that I'm doing that maybe I could do something better? And if everyone does that, it'll be hopefully the same kind of turnaround we had, last season. But our team and the unity is in a good place, and that's a good sign. We have fallen, 3 times, but there's no quit, there's no pointing fingers, there's none of that. And so, proud of the character of this team. It's a tight group, and we're going to keep fighting. Whoever we play next, whoever we play after that, we're going to show up and we're going to play.
Did the captains address the team like in earlier losses, or did y'all feel like that was something that needed to be done tonight?
I think it wasn't even like a moment like that. It was just like, when Double D says something, when I say something, or when Eric would say something, when Tyron says something, it's we all lead. Cam will say something. We all lead, throughout the season, and it's just some of those moments where hey, just a reminder, like we're going to be all right. This sucks. It's not what we want. It's not what we thought was going to happen, especially after the first 2 weeks. But we're going to be all right. We're going to keep working. What can you do? Everyone. We talk about all the time in this league. People are going to love you. They're going to hate you. Neither matter. Just keep working. Like as professionals, we just got to keep working, stay true to the process, and hopefully get better and get back in the win column.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.